Welcome back to Show Talk Show with our beloved guests, Mr. Ivan, Stephanie, Feb, and Dria. They will discuss about interesting topic for 10 minutes ahead. Our topic for today is really close with behaviorism and introduce the famous psychologist.
Good day, everyone. I'm Stephanie, and to answer the question, what is Neo Behaviorism? So, Neo Behaviorism, it is an approach to psychology influenced by logical positivism that emphasizes the development of comprehensive theories and frameworks of behaviors. So, Neo Behaviorism bridges the gap between behaviorism and cognitivism. Edward Chase Tolman. So he was an American psychologist and he was also a professor of psychology, and he is best known for his cognitive behaviorism, his research on cognitive maps, the theory of latent learning, and the concept of intervening variables.
What was Tolman's experiment? Tolman's purposive behavior. According to Tolman, learning is a cognitive process. Learning entails developing beliefs, gaining environmental knowledge, and disseminating that knowledge through intentional, goal oriented activity. Tolman's theory was founded on two psychological views, those of the Gestalt psychologists and those of John Watson, the behaviorist. Tolman's form of behaviorism stressed the relationship between the stimuli rather than the stimulus response, that new stimulus or the sign becomes associated with already meaningful stimuli, the significance. Through a series of pairing, there was no need for reinforcement in order to establish. What is latent learning according to Tolman? Latent learning is a form of education that a person retains or carries with them until they need it. It also occurs because it is not noticeable, unless there is a motivation to show that learning. Example of this is when you ask a dog to sit down and without a reward. Normally, a request with a reward would be quicker than the latter. Since it is apparent and has incentives, there is also another example of this latent learning, where Tolman tries to train the rats to finish the maze for 10 days. After the 10th day, Tolman gives the rats a reward on the experiment, and after that, the rats easily finish the maze, faster than the previous two groups. This is a great example of latent learning.
Who is Albert Bandura? Albert Bandura was born on December 4, 1925. He is raised at Montaigne, Alberta, Canada, and died on July 26, 2021, at Stanford, California. He is also a Canadian-American psychologist. What are cognitive maps? A cognitive map is a type of mental representation which serves an individual to acquire, code, store, recall, and decode informations about their relative locations and attributes of phenomena in their everyday or metaphorical spatial environment. The concept was introduced by Edward Tolman in 1948. For example, when a friend asks you for directions to your house, you are able to create an image in your mind of the roads, places to turn, landmarks, and etc. along the way to your house from your friend's starting point. This representation is the cognitive map.
What was this experiment? Bandura's most famous experiment was the 1961 Bobo doll study in the experiment. He made a film in which an adult model was shown beating up a Bobo doll and shouting aggressive words. The film was then shown to a group of children. Afterward, the children were allowed to play in a room that held a Bobo doll. Those who had seen the film with the violent model were more likely to beat the doll, imitating the actions and words of the adult in the film clip. What did you desire out of the experiment? Boo doll experiment, groundbreaking study on aggression led by psychologist Albert Bandura, that demonstrated that children are able to learn through the observation of adult behavior. Bandura's social learning theory provides a helpful framework for understanding how an individual learns via observation and modeling.
Mr. Ivan, Stephanie, Feb, and Drea, thank you for joining us today, and thank you for informative response about those questions that are provided. We really learned and got many new perspectives, and I'm sure our audience did too, right? And to all audience, thank you for watching and see you again next week. Bye!